Good evening, everyone. It's a real pleasure to be here. So we are going to do this session in two parts. It's going to be a little bit different. I'm going to take the easy part, and I'm just going to talk about a vision of AI in health, preventive health. And then the hard part, CHRO of Inox India, Mr. Sudhir Sethi, he's going to do the hard part, which is the execution of it, right? That's what we want to tell. And he comes from, of course, the HR background. So I thought it would be useful for everyone here from HR to hear the real story of the execution, right? So I'm going to start with a clip, a short clip. I was going to do a, what do you call the sharp, the fast fingers to buzzer, but because of time shortage, I'm going to cut that down. I will give you the solution after the clip myself, but let's look at this clip. Can we go ahead and play the clip? Okay, so what do we see here, right? A fact of life which you would like to not think about it. It's a lifestyle diseases and mental health issues which are on the rise. And what we see here is basically how it is happening at lesser and less age now, right? Even it showed you that for an 8-year girl also had a cardiac arrest, right? And it doesn't spare any profession. Even the doctors have collapsed suddenly, right, because of cardiac arrest. So the doctors, if we feel that they will know that at least how to take care of their life, their health, but that's not the case. In fact, in recent past, there has been many cases of doctors, collapsing suddenly. In fact, I was talking to a HR person here yesterday, and I want to mention, I was really moved. I mean, he was talking and sharing his own, one of his employees, he was telling that they had gone to some office event, and he suddenly collapsed and he passed away. And he was mentioning, and I could see the emotions in him. He was saying how hard it was for him to break the story to that news to his wife and to the kids, right? And he was saying that we will think about that employee maybe for 6 days, 7 days, and we'll just forget, and the life moves on. But what happens to the family, right? So we just give an insurance and we feel that, okay, that it's taken care. But it's not, right? Insurance cannot take care of the person who is not there anymore and the family that is left behind, right? So that's basically the essence of what I'm going to talk about and how AI is going to play an important role in that, right? So we're going to quickly go through the slides. So let's look at some of the facts, right? Maybe most of you all know, but just to again remind you all, right? India is capital of diabetes. It's a capital of cancer, which is on the rise, right? It is capital of suicide now, right? And mental diseases. All of these are on the rise, and India is one of the capital of the world. If you look at the 4 major diseases, the cardiometabolic diseases, right? Obesity, your hypertension, your diabetes, and CVD, all are increasing about 4 to 5% in the last 4 or 5 years, okay? And of course, the occupational injuries and diseases, we have almost 17% of the, basically the injuries and diseases because of the occupation, right? So this is some of the facts that we need to think about, which we don't often think, right? And so what exactly we are doing about it, right? From the standpoint of HR, HRD we talk about, right? What are we doing, right? So yes, we are doing a lot of wellness activities, no doubt about it. I have been talking to HRD of so many companies now in the last 6 months, and I live in US and I keep traveling and I keep talking to people in sharing in US as well as in India, and I see here a lot of wellness activities: yoga, meditation, cycling, right? High intensity interval training, awareness classes. We give gym this thing, but what does it amount to? Right? Does it really prevent the diseases? Do we have any accountability? Are we able to measure the outcome of all of this? What is the outcome, final outcome? It is not quantifiable. It is not measurable. And that itself is a problem, right? Because if I have to take this and show it to a CXO and say, okay, we want to invest X amount into all of the, the activities that increases the motivation, the engagement, but finally, how do you justify that? So that itself is a problem, right? And that's what when I keep talking to the HR, I also feel that not being able to quantify, that also is a problem, right? And so this is what is happening. And so why I'm talking about AI and prevention and health, so just to give you a quick snapshot of my own background, what I've been doing, right? So my educational background, I am an engineer, a top-class engineer from India. I went to US. I've been there in US for 30 years, did my master's in engineering. All my education also was in failure analysis. I was always interested in figuring out how things fail and what to do to avoid failure, right? So I moved into, when I moved into my work, my first job was as a design engineer. So I was working to design products so that they don't fail. I moved into jobs like head of manufacturing and head of quality, total quality management in the US. All of there, my focus was the same. Let not have defect, because once the defect happens, it's too costly, right? So what do we do? How do we create systems and processes and technology so that the failures are reduced, the prevention? So entire my life, and then finally last 12 years, I have been managing AI for State Street Corporation out of Boston. In fact, I started their AI division, and I'm not just theoretically talking about AI. I developed the first real-time predictive AI model for State Street Corporation. Okay, so very hands-on experience. I'm talking to you all about AI and what it can do and what it cannot do, right? So all of this, when I looked into my background about 6-7 years back, and I realized my forte was in prevention, right? And then I was looking for my next challenge. What do I do next, right? What can I prevent? And then when I started looking at it, I realized, the best thing is the human body, right? Ultimately, the human body is also a machine, maybe very complex, but it is a machine. And nobody is doing anything about it. We are talking about AI in HR for recruitment. We are talking about marketing and sales. But why not prevent the diseases, right? So that employees and organization can have a better life, right? So that was my intention, and with that, I founded the company Living Scope Health, and with the goal, predict and prevent lifestyle diseases, as well as the mental health, which is another major problem right after pandemic, of course, right? And the vision was very simple, but it is basically AI-powered personal medical assistant. I started with the concept that I want to see that everyone has their own AI-powered medical assistant. You will not be needing doctors as much. This AI-powered assistant, what it will do, it will have all your medical data. That is another problem, right? We go to a doctor. Doctors do not have your past history because they are doing symptomatic treatment, right? They have only 2-3 years of data. So you can keep all your data in this application, right? So everything is right there. Your life history, it will your lifestyle sketch, your entire family, personal history, medical history, your lifestyle, it will analyze everything. And it can basically predict and tell you what is your life going to be in terms of your health in the next 3 years, 5 years. So imagine this technology for your employees, for your organization, right? Because this will give them the true health, where as the health improves, of course, what happens? The productivity goes up, right? The absenteeism goes down, right? So, and the medical cost also, right? If you talk about group insurance cost, that will go down. But not only that, at the end of the days, probably your employees will feel, they will understand that you truly care for the employees, right? They get the signal. And if you think about the Gen Z, actually, they are looking for that kind of employer who are really spending on the real aspect of the health. So this is, I think, a very noble thing to do, which is still being avoided, right? The vision has to come from the top of the organization. It has to be a top-driven approach. But the technology is there. It can be there, right? That's what we have developed. And so that's what we are doing. And how this technology works, I'm just going to, it's a very, just giving you a layout of this technology, right? What it does, it takes all kind of data, because without the data, it cannot predict. So it has some inbuilt assessments where it will understand, the AI would like to learn about your lifestyle, your environment, what you live. It will take your medical history data, right? And with all of that, it will classify your employees into risk categories. Because you don't want to spend your money on people who are not probably going to need that, right? So it is going to risk prioritized. And so you will now know, okay, these are my group of employees, maybe in different geographical location. They are at moderate and high risk categories. And these people are at medium and low. Then what we do is we take the people who are in moderate and high risk. Then at the back of this, see, you cannot take out the clinical aspect of it. That's why the wellness itself doesn't work, right? So we have basically backed up with the doctors and specialists, right? And not only the doctors, because the body is very complex. It's a multi-organ, and most of the failures are interrelated, right? So you need to have a multifaceted approach, a team approach. So what we do is we take these employees who are at moderate or high health risk and pass them through a team-based approach of run by a doctor, by a nutritionist, by a psychologist to change the behaviors into basically habits. So a nutritionist says, okay, take this food, but are they doing it or not? So the app will, or the AI will monitor it. It will give continuous nudges, because that behavior has to change into habit, and it will not happen over days, right? It will happen over probably months, right? That's what the AI will do, continuous monitoring, and the team is working together to make these people who are especially at a moderate and high risk bring down their risk. So if you are thinking of your organization from financial point of view, right? We look at financial risk. So my question, the same to the CXOs is, why not look at your organization from health risk point of view, right? Because ultimately the human capital is the most important asset you have. But think of it, in the boardrooms, do we talk about human metrics in terms of health? Where are my employees in terms of their health metrics, right? What are we doing about it? So that is the thing that needs to happen, and that is what this technology does. And ultimately what it is doing, it is taking all of this, your lifestyle, and it is constantly giving you what modification that needs to be done so that you can have basically a better life ahead. While doing this, it's not only the things that you are going to get a high return on investment, all those things I talked about. Ultimately, I believe if more and more organizations move into that thought process, we are going to end up creating a better society. Because it's not just employees having better health now while they're working with you, but I think after retirement also, that people will continue to have a better life, right? That's what we want. So that is what my passion, my dream about starting this organization and the AI, right? So this is all about my dream, and I hope after today, maybe my organization, my managers, my people, my business partners shares this vision. I hope at least after the end of this day, some of you can relate to what I have talked about, right? What needs to be done. Now I will let the stage to be taken by Mr. Sudhir. He will talk more about the execution of this technology in his organization. Sudhir, go ahead. Thanks.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks, Anjan, for calling me over here and giving me an opportunity to speak to all of you. We have adopted this app called Uncurl developed by Anjan, and I work with Inox India Limited, which is a company manufacturing cryogenic equipment. We are based in Gujarat, in Baroda, particularly our head office is in Baroda. And we had, when Anjan approached me and explained me about the app he has developed, I was not very very, very enthusiastic about that. But then since it was related to employee health, and it is our passion, HR department's passion, to work for employee welfare, I thought, let me take a step forward and see how AI can help in ensuring the employee's health. So this AI-driven health initiative, I saw it as a business priority in 2026, keeping the employees' health in forefront, because ultimately it helps the organization also. So Inox India Limited is a company. We employ around 2,500 people. Half of them are workmen, half of them is staff, white collar and blue collar as we call them. And we are spread across 4 manufacturing locations. Last year our turnover was around 1400 crore. Now it will be, this year it is expected to be 1650 crore. So if you see, we are growing by almost 18, 19, 20%. This is year on year growth. Every year we grow with this kind of numbers.
Yeah.
So we were already having, some kind of health and wellness activities, like we organize first aid and emergency response. We train people. Most of our workmen particularly are trained in handling the emergency responses, treating minor injuries, etc. We also conduct some sessions related to mental health, yoga sessions, lifestyle, ergonomics. So we keep on calling doctors or specialists in this field, and so that the awareness level of our people keep on increasing, or they are engaged in such a manner that they start taking care of their own health. And routine health screening also, which is as per Factories Act. We are an engineering industry, so Factory Act prescribes certain kind of routine checkups. Also we have got, for our managers, little senior people, we have the, don't change it, I will change it from
Okay,
here.
okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So we keep on having these things, these medical checkups, and we keep some camps also, and creating some awareness about health, because I think, as Anjan described in the beginning, this is a very important aspect, taking care of health, which is often neglected by the employers. For community, under CSR, we do some activities, like we have invested in mobile health units, which goes across in the rural areas. If I say rural area, that rural area also, rural of the rural, I will say, our factory is in tribal area. Basically it's a tribal belt, very poor. Some of the ladies, which are treated by our mobile health units, first time they have interacted with the doctor in their lives. We can't imagine this, but it has happened. Ladies, poor ladies, they in their life they don't get any medical treatment. They are never taken to hospitals. Our sociological, psychosocial setup is such that a girl is given food at the last, if the food lasts. This is the setup. Probably some of the students sitting on the back rows may not be even aware of this. Even I was not aware of this when I came to know about this. This is our condition. We call ourselves a developing country, or a country which has progressed. So we have this mobile health unit. Then we organize medical care support in the villages, and healthcare infrastructure development, like developing some clinics, etc. in rural areas. So coming back to the use of AI in the engaging the employees' health. If you see our calendar, as I mentioned, we take care of lot of health initiatives. We take lot of health initiatives during the year. So if you see my calendar, the company's calendar, HR calendar, activities calendar, you will see lot of that we are taking care of so many things. But when Anjan came to me and presented him, we both belong to same city, Baroda. So he came to meet me once in my office, and he asked me the question that with this initiative, are you sure your workplace is getting healthier, or their awareness is getting increased, or we are just documenting their health status, and which is, if a person joins at the age of 25, at the age of 50 his health has surely declined. So we are just documenting the decline. This changed the whole perspective, because this means that we need to keep a constant monitoring on how an employee is faring as far as the health is concerned. Creating awareness is one thing, but actually knowing the data, actually having the analytics about the employee health is very important, which we were missing. So then we decided that let's do something so that some meaningful efforts are put in this direction, so that we keep some analytics. So we should be aware that how employees are faring as far as their health is concerned. So our factory tests were mere compliances basically, and which tells us, okay, the medical report has come as per Factory Act, now he is fit to work. But what is the risk? Whether he will have some risk in time to come, in long run, whether his diabetes have come borderline, whether some kind of heart disease is seen, or any other disease. Some of them are psychosomatic also, some of them are related to work. We don't have that disease, but in many places, where lot of dust is there is a disease prevalent called silicosis, which is a deadly disease. It's a pulmonary disease. So as I had spoken to Anjan, and there was a solution, that is living health sketch. He said we will provide, and he introduced me to a app called Uncurl. So what did the Uncurl had? So Uncurl, not Uncle, it is Uncurl. So it's an online platform basically, which can be approached or which can be accessed through your own laptop, or through by downloading an app on your mobile. So what happens when we open this app Uncurl? There is a set of questions. Lot of questions are there, and an employee has to fill up these questions, and which talk about his health, which ask question about his family history, about his health history, about his mental health, about the stress he is facing on the shop floor, about the bad habits, addictions, or some kind of substance abuse, alcohol abuse, whether he is addicted to it, how far he is into all those things. So all those questions are asked. Through that, data is made. So when I saw the questionnaire, it was such a long questionnaire. So we edited that questionnaire, and then finally we decided, because if my company is allowing me to invest, I should be able to show. So we are also quite mindful of spending money. So we thought, let us start with a pilot project of 100 people, because getting the data of 2,500 people would have taken me almost a year, and we wanted to see the results. So we decided, the management decided, okay, let's have a pilot study which will basically reduce the cost also, and if we see the results, positive results, then we will go for the investing in this particular app for all 2,500 people. So we started with a pilot project of 100 people, which were randomly selected from different locations, but the age criteria was kept in mind. So we chose from all the locations people who, the first 100 people who are in age, the senior most 100 people in age, and then we identified those people and we made a list. Now it was difficult. Now I will share my experience about the people awareness and how much people care about their own health, and that makes this app more important, a vital thing for everyone, for every organization to take care of their employee health. When we made a team of HR officers at all the locations, and they used to go to people and ask them, they used to go to the employees and ask them, you have not filled up this. First of all, no one took initiative in filling up this questionnaire because the questionnaire is long. So they said, we don't have time. The focus, the level of attention is so low. So they said, we cannot spend that. So spend the time. So our team went to them. We talked to them that how wonderful it will be, how beneficial it will be to fill up this questionnaire. Some of them also raised their concern about data privacy. So we had to basically counsel those people that the company is not going to misuse it. The fear is that if I give all my data, if I say I smoke 20 cigarettes a day, then company might fire me, that how can you smoke 20 cigarettes a day? That means you are wasting time on work. So we said that this individual data will not be shared, only it will be with the Living Scope Health company, only it will be with Anjan Roy. It will not be shared with names. We will come to know, but we will not know that who has filled this data. So this way we started, and the pilot project with 100 people we conducted, and these are certain mitigation plans for LSH. That is, first we stratified people, and impact is to have data driven resource allocation. Since time is short, I am getting signals to finish it fast. So then we created awareness, customized awareness session, means counseling the people, working employees. So and then all employees go through customized training to increase their awareness towards their lifestyle choices and habits that may be impacting physical, mental and emotional health. Then intervention. The LSH will provide 6-month intensive clinic intervention based on the data which the employees have filled. There is a whole, I will go to the next slide, which will tell you about the risk assessment. So these are the risk assessment, the stress category, the stress reliance, workplace causing mental or physical health issue, then how often employee feels stressed. So you can see the graphs, and it's all analytics. So what was the mental risk score? Overall mental health risk, it's 0% basically, but then if you see mild or high or low or doing well. So these are the statistical data which Living Scope Health gave us after the questionnaires were filled by these 100, they are quite insightful actually. If I explain each and every parameter or every variable, probably the whole day will fall short. But then we intervened with this, and I'm quite happy that we did this. And then modify lifestyle therapy. So there are certain doctors on board with Living Scope Health. So since the project is still going on, so we have not experienced all those things, but if I understand, if employee feels some discomfort or faces some health risk or health challenge, he can immediately contact on app, put his problem, which will go to the back office, and the concerned doctor will be called, and there will be some kind of online consultation. Then there will be some kind of counseling, personalized behavior changes, high intensity intervention therapy, yoga, target nutrition, psychological counseling. Then it will be monitored and it will be integrated with the app, and continuous tracking will take place. Then preventive care will be given. So if you see, so it is going to help. It is too early to actually say that whether it has really helped or not, but then it can help through reduced medical claim. Productivity is going to improve if obviously our employees are healthier. If we come to know about the problems early, obviously the productivity will improve, absenteeism will go down. We expect a gross saving of 40 lakhs rupees because of less absenteeism, increased productivity, and reduced mediclaim cost, because we provide them mediclaim also. So these are I have already shown. Thank you so much for listening patiently to me, and I am sure once we get all the results and this is adopted in toto or in totality in our organization, it is going to create a lot of difference as far as the health status of our employees concerned. Thank you so much.
Thank you.